Good morning. Glad you're here on KCMO Talk Radio. Happy Wednesday. Let's roll it.
It's time for the 6 at 6 on 95.7 KCMO Talk Radio. Number 1.
At the top of the list, today is earnings day for NVIDIA. Now, you might say, wait, why do I care? I'm not some big NVIDIA stockholder. I don't give a rip. No, if you have any investment, any 401k, any IRA, and you just own a mutual fund, an ETF, anything that is basically a mirror of the S&P 500, you care about NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the largest percentage of the S&P, and it's the largest percentage a stock has ever been in the S&P. So literally anybody who has $1 in any retirement account or is involved in any kind of pension plan should care about NVIDIA and what's coming out today after the markets close with its earnings call. So this is pretty big news on Wall Street today, and it will come out later this afternoon after the markets close out. It is, if you go on social media, it's actually trending on X, NVIDIA earnings day. So you got a lot of people watching this thing very, very closely.
Number 2.
Well, speaking of things people are watching closely, it's the Royals' race to the wild card, and they rallied late yesterday, picking up a win 5-4 over the White Sox. How about that? Mark, how you feeling right now?
I was about to declare the season over, and then they came back and won, so we're still alive.
They are still alive, my man. You're right about that. They came back in the 9th, got a good win. Miguel Garcia had a 2-run single in the 8th. Royals rallied from a 4-0 deficit. Jonathan India had 2 hits and scored 2 runs. Michael Massey hit a tying 2-run single in the 9th, and Kyle Isbell hit the go-ahead single as the Royals win 5-4 over the White Sox last night. So right now, you look at the wild card standings, and thanks to the Mariners losing, the Royals are now 3 games back of that final wild card spot. And they wrap up the series tonight. They take on the White Sox in Chicago, and that first pitch is at 6:40 before a day off, and then a big home set against Detroit this weekend. Let's go.
Number 3.
Next up in our 6 at 6 here on KCMO Talk Radio, 95.7 FM. Let's give you the weather here. Set a record yesterday. Kansas City's low of 50 degrees yesterday morning broke the old record of 53 set back in 1910. St. Joe set a record low yesterday of 45 degrees, breaking the old record of 52 set in 1958. Boy, what about where are my friends with the global warming, climate change, all that nonsense? Has anyone heard from them lately? Where are they at? Anyone? Bueller? Hello? I can't find them either. Okay, just making sure. But this weather, man, we've got week 1 of college football. It's going to feel like early October, not late August, early September. I can't get enough of it.
People
it's just
are aroused.
It's so
I haven't
good.
seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Come on, let's go. It's great. All right, next up in the 6 at 6.
Number 4.
All right, the tragedy in Kansas City, Kansas. We will talk to Police Chief Carl Oakman coming up at 8:05. After 2 nights ago, they lost 26-year-old police officer Hunter Samanchik. Hunter was from Galesburg, Kansas, and he was critically injured just before 1 a.m. yesterday morning and then was pronounced dead at the University of Kansas Medical Center at 10:30. What happened? Well, he tried to stop a suspect's car with stop sticks, used all the time by law enforcement to intervene with a suspect who's not slowing down. What happened? 31-year-old Dennis Mitchell III ran him over. Mitchell is said to have abandoned his vehicle. He took another. He drove eastbound on State Avenue in KCK, right by the community college. That's where the officer deployed the stop sticks. Mitchell drove over the sticks, across a median, and into the officer, eventually killing him and continuing on. Now, Dennis Mitchell is in custody, thank goodness, and we will talk to the police chief Carl Oakman about this at 8:05 this morning. Please do be here for that conversation on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. And if you're out the office by then, you can stream us on the iHeart app or on the TuneIn app. But we're looking forward to having that conversation with the police chief in just over 1 hour.
Number 5.
And number 5 this morning in the 6 at 6, FEMA is in some hot water. Why? Workers have been put on leave after signing a letter warning of Trump's overhaul of the agency. Because if you even consider paring back and cutting some jobs at a place like FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, we're all going to die. That's the only outcome possible if any government worker gets laid off. This is the same thing as DOGE a few months back. If any government worker loses his or her job, we are screwed, man. Every single one of us is going to be lucky to make it without more government employees. We have no chance otherwise. Please. They titled this letter to Congress Katrina Declaration, and it accused President Trump and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who oversees FEMA, of undermining the agency's capabilities, ignoring its congressionally mandated authority, and appointing unqualified leadership. The group calls for FEMA to be shielded from political interference and for its workforce to be protected from politically motivated firings. So what happened? Well, basically, Kristi Noem and Trump said, yeah, we're putting you on leave. Good for them.
Number 6.
And last up in the 6 at 6, well, it's the engagement heard around the world. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are set to be married. Don't know when that's happening, but they announced their engagement, which apparently had been in place for a couple of weeks, on their Instagram accounts yesterday. And that is by far the biggest celebrity news of the year.